lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open. I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest. My third eye is open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest. My third eye is open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest.
Peace, 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 family. Shadow Work Sundays. You already know the vibes. Big energy. You know, today is Vibe with the Tribe, God Edition. And we are blessed, you know what I'm saying, with the panel that we have. You know, so much gratitude to the guys. And let's actually start it off with getting the guys to actually introduce themselves and really tell you a little bit about them. So we can start with Marty.
Peace, man. It's Marty. I'm a man. I'm a friend. I'm a father, and I'm just on this journey, man. Just trying to reach the greatest me I could be, man. So appreciate y'all having me.
I say, peace, man.
You can get it.
I'll go. Yeah. Wholeness to my soul, family of my soul, tribe. You know what I'm saying? I go by Ak Khalil. You know what I'm saying? For my music, I go by Kai Khalil. You dig? But how y'all feeling? I'm a spiritual teacher, so you know I have a lot of esoteric wisdom and knowledge on a lot of different topics. You dig? And I'm also a consultant as well. So really talk about just really diving into the aspects of your soul and really helping you to tap into that limitless aspect of yourself.
I say peace. Yeah, I'm Jay the Divine One. Just living through the heart, you feel me? Here with the gods. And yeah, I know everybody feeling good tonight, and we're gonna rock out.
I say. Nah, you ain't did that right. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling great, and you already know we're gonna rock out.
That's it. You feel me?
Hey, let's actually we're gonna start off with playing the Heart Chakra Singing Bowl, and then we'll go from there. So get comfortable, get in the meditative state. You know, however you want to do. If you want to do some breath work, I'm gonna just play the Heart Chakra Singing Bowl a few. You know what I'm saying? Just a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I say.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You know, as we know, sound frequency is very important, you know, which is what we're going to talk about a lot this episode, because it has been used against us in many ways. And so let's go ahead and tap into. So I'm gonna actually go and speak on it before I play the record. So I'm gonna play a music video, one of my music videos, and the song is called "King Stop Killing Kings." Um, I lost my brother, you know what I'm saying, at 18. Somebody very close to me got shot 15 times, and it really changed my life. Um, I did drugs, I did coke, X at the same time, you know what I'm saying, became a very violent person. And it really broke me. When I dealt with trauma, I mean, for at least 5 years of just being this angry, black man, consistently couldn't even shake it. And every time this day would come around, I would cry, or I would get angry, or I would, you know what I'm saying, be kind of like, I would be transferring trauma on my family. And, you know what I'm saying, I dealt with this for years. A lot of people that know me, that's close to me, know the type of pain that I dealt with in the situation. My goddess was telling me the other day how I was trying to walk down the street, how she was stopping me. I was down a main road walking, and she was walking with me and stopped me from going. I'm trying to go, to the scene. You know what I'm saying? And just really kind of reliving that in many ways over and over. And that's what happens in our community. When people get killed, these are people's family, whether they're a celebrity or they're not. It's someone's son, it's someone's father, someone's brother, someone's husband, someone's boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? And so just so happened in my life, he was my brother. And it really put me in a place where I hated it. I hated this type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't like, we can fight, you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't with the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole killing, the whole gunplay thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I say that to say, Mo3 was my favorite rapper. And so that's what inspired me to write the song at that time. Mo3 got killed. I'm 28. Mo3 was 20. I mean, I was 28 at the time. Mo3 was 28 when he got killed. I went on like a 6-month rant studying what happened to this man. Very low vibrational, but it was due to my brother, what I dealt with my brother. Point is we see all the killing that's happening in the industry. Just even like if you're not in the hood and you detach from the hood, the world is still showing you all the killing that's going on in the hood through the music and through hip hop, through all the rappers that you might like and that are dying due to this. You see what I'm saying? So I said all that to, you know what I'm saying, to just kind of set y'all up for the record and let y'all know what the record is about and what was my intention and what was technically it's really shadow work. You know what I'm saying? For all of us that lost people in the streets, whether it was murder or to prison or to whatever it was, to drugs. You know what I'm saying? Some people get caught up on a certain type of drug and never come back. And so it's many aspects of it, you know what I'm saying? And so and we doing it to ourselves. You know what I mean? So let's get it.
Hip hop, just a message from a young king. Inside battling a young nigga. Sacrifice to have it all. Now it's all wrong when somebody kill you. If you don't feel it, you ain't got feelings. All these killers got me in my feelings. Got me thinking about my niggas. Damn, my niggas. Can we think about the kids? He get real. Thinking about like dog. In the day he got killed. Rap talk. What that mean nowadays? Trap talk, clap talk, that talk got you in a maze. What a day. I just prayed. Nowadays ain't nobody safe. Keep the FN on my waist. Black lives matter when they killed by a cop. A little bit different when it's beef on the block. I don't know it all, I'm just peeping it out. I just wish we could just figure it out. Forgive blood, that's my brother. We gon' work it out together. Mud came from the rainy weather. Type of rain make us hate each other. We gotta switch it. Can't stop killing kings, that is the mission. Hurt from the pain, from the place that we came and we went talk about forgiveness. Just a message from a young king inside battling a young nigga. Sacrifice to have it all. Now it's all wrong when somebody kill you. If you don't feel it, you ain't got feelings. All these killings got me in my feelings. Got me thinking about my niggas. Damn. My niggas, just a message from a young king inside battling a young nigga. Sacrifice to have it all. Now it's all wrong when somebody kill you. If you don't feel it, you ain't got feelings. All these killings got me in my feelings. Got me thinking about my niggas. Damn, my niggas. To see the most high signs. Heard the call and I press decline. Your destiny is what you decide. Life look different through your third eye. Control my vibe, control my whereabouts. Watch what I eat, I'm who I care about. Your destiny is what you decide. Life look different through your third eye. New levels, new devils. More lessons, more blessings. Keep it real, the rap game messy. Why you gotta die to be a legend? I pray for the mamas, sisters and brothers, the grannies and fathers. I know that God got you. His protection got us walking through fire. Forgive blood, that's my brother. We gon' make it out together. Mud came from the rainy weather. Type of rain make us hate each other. We gotta switch it. Kings stop killing kings, that is the mission. Hurt from the pain from the place that we came and we weren't taught about forgiveness. Just a message from a young king inside battling a young nigga. Sacrifice to have it all. That's all wrong when somebody kill you. If you don't feel it, you ain't got feelings. All these killings got me in my feelings. Got me thinking about my niggas. Damn. My niggas, just a message from a young king inside battling a young nigga. Sacrifice to have it all. Now it's all wrong when somebody kill you. If you don't feel it, you ain't got feelings. All these killings got me in my feelings. Got me thinking about my niggas. Damn, my niggas. I baby lockdown, can't hear me. Yeah. I'm just soldiers we lost, man. R.I.P. man, RG, rest in blood, being black. Gotta figure it out. Cross.
Fire.
Let's get it.
Heavy on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm. Risky just to have it all. Hey, you feel me?
Man, bro. Because guess what? You know what I'm saying? Not even on a rapper level, just in the hood and coming from where we come from, you know what I'm saying? Like a certain life is always flashed in front of us. So we always dream of having it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You would do anything to have it all. Even if you broke and he got $100, that's all. You want it all. You know, his life is gone over $100. I know people that lost their life over $40.
Yeah.
How you rob a man for $40 and kill him?
Yeah.
What psychologically is going on? You know, for us to feel like that. You know?
And they got a lot to do with the music.
Bro, I was just about to say that's why that's going to be a deep conversation, because we're talking about things that's heavily normalized, and specifically the music. Obviously, we see it normalized in movies and things of that nature as well, but it's really the music that's become so normal for us. And I feel like it's contributing so heavily to us being so desensitized, you know, to what would normally be death and despair and emotions and beats, you know, to vibe to. So this is gonna be a heavy conversation, I feel like, because people aren't talking about this. Nobody's talking about this, you know.
Yeah.
So this is heavy.
They talking about it. They just not talking about it in the right context. The media is spreading the death, and that's a problem too. You know, all we see online is death.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When a rapper dies, I tell my goddess, she be like, she don't be knowing about so much stuff. Because I'll be like, I'm not going to tell you like why the whole world is on this certain type of frequency.
Mm-hmm.
It could be somebody she rock with. You know, you want to hear it from me. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, because you know they're really destroying us mentally through these frequencies, like you're saying, through the music. But really, we get attached to these rappers. We get attached to these people. Like that's our people. Like Boosie was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get attached to these things, and they know how we work psychologically. We are a tribe-based people. So you automatically get connect. Like that's the tribe right there talking to you through the speaker.
Yeah.
They know what you went through, you know. And I know me and Jay was talking behind the scenes about how I'll get Mo 3 as an example. You know, Mo 3, man, like I was rocking Mo 3 from the beginning, but he was talking about a lot of, you know, his music wasn't so much on the murder tip. You know what I'm saying? He talking about his family, his mama, you know what I'm saying? Like different things like that. But whenever things happen in the streets, it changed. But my battle with listening to it at that time was, well, damn, some of these lyrics is relatable. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff I've been through.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I really come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I think that has really been the problem. You know what I'm saying? We listen to it because it has a relatability, but it still has murder and death that is putting onto us psychologically.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's making me look at you as a nigga instead of a god.
Exactly.
It's making me look at you like you're gonna kill me instead of you gonna give me a handshake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we fear us worse than white people.
Yeah. Talk
Like
about
real
it.
talk. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously.
Yeah, I feel like, man, that struggle we relate to, man, it's a part of every king out here. That everybody feel them struggles, everybody done went through them struggles, and that struggle is what we relate to. But that struggle come with like it's attached with a lot of other things too. And I think the other things that come with struggle from the places we come from is either, you know, he make it or you make it, you know what I'm saying? Or I do it to you or you do it to me. And it's really like a survival tactic, because a lot of times when we first felt that pain as like young kids is when we was broke. We didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or something got took from us. That's when we first felt pain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, once we get older and it's like, you know, we hear these stories of like, yeah, I felt pain and this is how I handled it. You kind of connect to that because that's how you feel. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. So when he's saying, yo, somebody took something from me and I went and handled that, that's what you want to do. That's how you feel. So at the time when we younger, that's somebody talking for us. That's somebody speaking our pain when we don't understand really what's going on. So I feel like we identify with it, just like we identify with a lot of other struggles. But I feel like the pain and the struggle, it gotta be understood. You know what I'm saying? To actually like go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then you gotta really look at the aspect of as far as the people that do talk about it, how they talk about it. Because when we experience something in this reality and we don't really understand like what's going on as far as what's going on behind the scenes when something happens in the media. And it's a lot of psychological programming that's happening to whereas we stimulate a lot of emotion because of that. And they constantly doing that throughout the media, throughout whatever. You dig what I'm saying? As long as it can target and focus us. So you see a lot of the same things in the music industry where you do have certain rappers coming out and talking about it, but it's doing the same thing as far as when the government is coming out here and saying the same things and bringing the same things to light. They're just stimulating the emotion, but there's no problem solving behind it. You dig what I'm saying? So it's basically the same thing. So like y'all saying, a lot of people get attached to that because they can relate to it. But then it's just like you hitting the brick wall because you don't give me no out. Now you stimulated all this emotion. Now I'm going out throughout my day thinking about this after y'all just talked about it for a whole hour. Now it's going viral. It's all throughout. Everybody talking about it. You dig what I'm saying? And then everybody's on that wave, on that mindset, but nobody's looking towards what they can do within themselves to transmute that energy.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that too. Like that's the part that's not being. That's the part we're skipping over. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, we at war with ourselves. We see somebody that look like us, we mad at them because they look like us. You know what I'm saying? They going through the same thing we going through. So it's not a matter like, you know, what he did to me or what I feel like, how I feel about him, how I feel about myself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of kings don't know we wearing crowns. A lot of kings don't know that we got crowns on our head. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of where a lot of this start is like we don't know that we got crowns. We was born with crowns. We is royalty. And if you don't understand that, you're not gonna carry yourself like that. You're not gonna carry yourself like a king. You're not gonna carry yourself like royalty. You're not gonna carry yourself like you even got a purpose and you don't even know that. So I think once we understand who we are, and that's more than just saying, that I got power and authority to make sound decisions. Is more saying that I got power and authority to actually change my environment, and we actually gotta put the action behind how we thinking to actually be that force. Because a lot of people, it happens, but it happens to some people that don't even know who they are, don't even know the power that they got, and that's the sad part. So when it's like kings killing kings, it's like a lot of them didn't even know they had a crown on their head. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them didn't even know.
You know what's deep though, fam? I feel like it's healing. You know what I'm saying? The black man is taught as from a baby to run from healing, to run from it, to suppress it, to hold it in. You strong, you got it, and the whole time you was broken, and so we end up becoming numb, and that's how you can kill somebody that looks just like you. You numb. You've been numb from the deepest level, from the core, from your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think this is a good time to transition here. So I had posted a clip about forgiveness. It was from my last episode, and somebody commented under it about this is weak, and you pushing y'all are pushing this weak shit out here on our people. Our ancestors ain't forgiving shit, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I responded back, with peace family, ain't nothing weak, about healing, breaking generational curses, and raising the vibration of the planet. But I want to touch on this perspective of why do men think healing is weak? Right. Because I feel like that's the reason why we're able to get infiltrated to where these songs attach to us and connect with us, and we keep them on repeat, is because we're broken. And they feeding our trauma. Niggas know how to spell their own pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've always been good at that. You know what I'm saying? They always said that the best R&B singer, the R&B singer gonna make the best record when they broken.
I was just about to say that too. I was like, man, you know how heartbroken girls, like they love some Keisha Cole, they love some Mary J. Blige, and some girls don't get past that. You know what I'm saying? Some girls, that's their whole identity. They like to live when this singer was heartbroken and they was saying F this nigga, like I'ma do me, and they love that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't like when a singer is happy and they living life and they not bitter no more. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like it's like in the same thing with us. It's like a lot of people like to stay there. A lot of people like to stay in that mode. One reason, because it's comfortable. Two, because you don't gotta take no accountability, because you saying this person did this person did that, so I got a right to feel like this. And three, it's like you gotta actually do something after the fact. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do something after the fact, and that's on you. Like, once you acknowledge that you can't blame somebody else, you actually gotta do something to change after the fact. And I think it's easy to stay in that bitter space, in that space that's like, I don't know, so I got the right to do this, or somebody did this to me, so I got the right to feel like this. When actually, like, you taking ownership of how you feel and how it affected you, then you actually able to get past it. But if you in that bitter state, you really don't, even in them states, you don't want to hear what nobody got to say. You don't even want to hear what yourself got to say. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a stagnated place that a lot of people get stuck in.
Yeah, that's why knowing ourselves is so much of a factor, because if you're not able to pay attention to when you go through those different spells of emotion and and psychological shift, you can't pay attention to when there's an aspect of you that isn't harmonized, that then took control over your vessel and hijacked you. So a lot of the reasons why you get people like that and they tend to stay in that is because they can't become aware of that switch. Like it's cloudy. You did, like they think that's them talking and that's the way that they're supposed to act when the whole time. That's just a very powerful aspect of that chaos energy that then came to the forefront now and then took it over. You dig what I'm saying? So
you know what's deep, bro? No, keep going, bro. My fault.
But,
I'm trying to catch
you good? Yeah. So like so as far as like the music and things like that, a lot of those women that's making that music is still in that space. So it's a real ripple effect, you dig? So this starts with us at ground zero because we already at the ground, we already at the foundation, and that's why I wanted to talk about forgiveness, which is what I talk about in my ebook. And what people really need to understand about forgiveness, a deeper aspect of it is when you break down the word forgiveness. I'll break it down the word forgive into two words. You have for, and then you have give, right? So for, F-O-R, you know what I'm saying? That just means that you're giving. For is for somebody, right? But then you can also equate it to the number 4, right? F-O-U-R. So when you take the number 4 and you flip it upside down, it looks like what? A chair. And what is a chair? It's stable. It's a solid foundation. It's strong. So when you talk about forgiveness, when you forgive somebody, you're just giving back stability to the situation, to the system itself, right? So when people understand that about forgiveness, then you can take a whole new perspective of it in the sense of it's not so. If I want this situation to be cool, calm, and collect, I need to forgive stability to it.
And it's funny, Kai, because we just talked about, we kind of went in on forgiveness and the word forgive in that same aspect last episode. And I brought out a passage from this book. I think it's like 9 Hours of Light, but it's like Ascension Keys from
Yo, that was powerful.
But it's in the sense that you're saying that when you centered in the heart space, like you live your reality looking for what you can give the situations. And 9 times out of 10, we're talking about forgiveness. You got to give up your position in whatever the interaction was. You kind of got to give your energy and be like, you know what, I'm gonna let this go. You know, when you get into our people, it's like a lot of us is constantly looking for retribution. It's like, okay, they did that, so now I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's that victim and victimizer like interaction where you got somebody doing to somebody, now they feel like they need retribution and vice versa. But it's like, that's that living outside of the heart space, because you constantly looking for what you can get. You looking to get the validation, you looking to get the aha or the last word, but you're not looking to give anything, like you said, Kai, to make the situation steady. You feel me?
And that touches into the chakras. That's a big heart chakra imbalance, because there's a dualistic aspect to the heart chakra. You have the heart chakra, and then God has brought this to my attention. There's a chakra above the heart chakra called the intention chakra, which is tied to the heart chakra. So people too much in the intention chakra, right? As far as the intention, they utilizing the heart, but their intent is wrong in utilizing the power of the heart chakra.
We all know the path to hell is paved with good intentions. You feel me? So
look, I feel like everything that's happening, you know how it go, man. Just be divine alignment, you know how I be moving, you know. And so this comment, and y'all all in the heart space right now. And this comment says that men have to balance with their feminine and masculine energy. So I think we finna have a breakdown on the panel on this one. We gotta stop real quick on the road trip, you know, and pause real quick because I want to know everybody's perspective on this, me personally. And so me and Julio talk a lot, man. The divine feminine energy is so important. There wouldn't be no Shadow Work Sundays without it. You know, whenever we come on here and whenever we do what we do, it is purely from the heart space. And I try my best to live my life through my heart space, because truthfully, the frequency and the timing that we're in, you know, I would say the alignment that we are blessed to actually be able to, you know, consume and be a part of, is all about the divine feminine. Divine feminine has took over. The big mama energy is here, and it always has been the most powerful energy ever. But you know, it has been stolen from all of us. You know, and so we actually when we did an episode called Toxic Masculinity versus the Divine Feminine, there was a question asked: who robbed you of the divine feminine? You know what I'm saying? And so as a man, you know, we have to ask ourselves that question. 90% of the time it was our mother. It was our mother. It was she was our first love. You know, and our first example of love. If we had a mother in that way, but whoever mama was, if she, because it ain't gotta be your blood mama, but whoever you looked at as mama, from my experience and from my bros. But point I'm making is that connecting with the divine feminine saved my life. It made my marriage amazing. It actually helped me to actually be able to be the man and have the balance that I needed to actually have and deal with the goddess with chaos and love energy. Because you know, other than that, I was one track minded and I was throwing temper tantrums because I was broken in my inner child. You know, and so with my inner child, since my inner child was broken and scared, then I would project this extra masculine energy. So now I'm super aggressive. Now I'm super loud. Now I'm super, you know, and really truthfully, and this is why our people get killed every day, because the same reason why I'm projecting on my wife, projecting on my family, and not connected with the divine feminine, but toxic masculinity. It was because of and I lost my train of thought.
It's coming back to you right now.
Come back to you. But yeah, I'm definitely going. If I could, like I said earlier when we were understanding, really living through the heart for me, it's easier now because in this life, in this realm, however you want to word it, you're going to experience pain on both spectrum. So living through your heart versus being quote unquote cold-hearted. Nah, God, my brother, you not cold-hearted. You just experienced some trauma, some pain that's unresolved, and now you quote unquote you cold-hearted. But that's not really who you are at your core. So I would rather experience the pain living through my heart versus experience pain being quote unquote cold-hearted.
And that's deep, because if y'all think about it, right, it's like that's kind of how they get us, you know, because we talking a lot about the chakra. So we talking about, you know, the heart is that middle chakra between the entire system. So because we are in the state that we're in, we never get to this chakra. We locked in the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times for us, you know what I'm saying, Black men, the root chakra is way out of whack, which is, you know, your sense of stability, your sense of security, and things of that nature. So when you think about it, they keep us locked in this half a being type of state where we never can come to the heart chakra and then rise to the, you know, to the throat chakra, speaking that truth from the heart, and to the third eye and seeing past the illusions from the heart space. So it's like they really keep us in a state of kind of, not even just fight or flight. We're kept in an animalistic state because those are our lower animalistic chakras. You know,
when you talk about the chakras, to operate in the masculine, like you said, as above, so below. So obviously you have to be grounded. You know, your root chakra has to be balanced. But as you move up and you do it, you know, in the right process, and you get to your heart space and you go up, your heart space as a masculine energy, your heart space is not still. You can move through your heart space but not be able to lead a tribe, because you have to get your crown. Your crown is guidance. So the reason why divine masculine can be so powerful whenever we connect with the heart is because once you got this crown, now you got this guidance, now you got the first eye, you got this awareness, now you're in your heart space and you're moving through love. You're unstoppable. But it's honestly like chess. If you look at chess, the queen, she has the power to move and do all the things that she's doing. So if we look at it like if we turn chess into like some other type of game and say that the king could actually channel the queen's energy, he could actually move. So on the chessboard, right now he's stuck, and she has all the power to protect him and get out here and make moves. And she, you know what I mean? She's the what is the word? Omniscient one. You know, that is her. And that is I. That is we right here in our heart space.
Facts.
That is Christ.
Yeah. And it's deep. I'm not to cut you off. So the chest is deep because the king can only take one step at a time. The queen can jump as many spaces, you know, that she wants. So
really, so what we saying, guys, is that the divine feminine is a cheat code.
Yeah,
exactly.
And think about it, like just to bring it back around to the dark matter energy and that feminine energy, right? I like to really take a shamanistic approach to everything and go back to nature and see how nature operates within that energy, because they always within that energy. And the perfect animal I could say that would embody that energy is when you look at the life process of an eagle. So you can take your consciousness to the top of a mountain where there's an eagle nest and there's a few baby eagles in there, right? They only know what love is because all they know is their other siblings that's in there, right? They're in a harmonized state, and then they know that they mama always coming back to make sure they fed. But Big Mama know one day gonna come where she gonna have to push them out the nest. So that's one thing, if y'all didn't know about eagles don't jump out the nest on their own. The mama pushes them out. Right, so she has to step into her masculine energy while already being in the divine feminine energy, and help that young eagle, whether it be a male or female, step into both aspects of the energy and really tap into that dark matter energy or that fear of the unknown now, because that little baby eagle doesn't know what's at the bottom of the nest. The only thing it knows is a nest. So now she's helping it to step into that energy. So when you realize that throughout your life and equate that to aspects of your life and see how the aspect of those energies has pushed you, you dig? You see how you can really go further, right? So when talking about the man and a woman, and when talking about a woman being submissive to the man, right? There you have men out here who combat that ideology and things like that, as far as like, that's not a good thing. Or you have men who say women are supposed to be in submission to the man, but don't really understand the spiritual aspect about it or the dualistic nature of it. The whole reason why women have their power is because that's what they made of. They made of this energy. It just pours out of their genetics, right? But the whole reason that men have their power is because when the woman is in submission to the man, right? Just like how you said, that chess piece can draw off the queen. So that's what's happening when the woman is in submission to the man. You're able to have that synergetic and symbiotic relationship with each other, and you're able to pull off each other energy now, because now y'all both holding each other up.
I'll say, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was very powerful.
And if you think about it, not to cut you off, King. If you think about it, like, because when we talking about, because that relates to this topic about, you know, violence in our community as Black men, because if it's not something like, let's say, gang related, street related, what have you, a lot of the times, a lot of these killings have something to do with the goddess involved, with some form of jealousy or some type of connection where a goddess was involved, you know. So it's deep you speak on that, because I feel like that topic is kind of intertwined with this one, with you know, the interaction between the Black man and the Black woman, and how that's turning into jealousy, hate, and malice. And I feel like that's highly relevant, you know, because
that chaos energy though, bro. It's that chaos energy. And that chaos, you don't know how to channel it, because what happens is that we're so territorial in this. It's almost like, so I look at everything like this, right? If you look at the youngest, the crystal babies out here right now, man, they ready for murder, ready for war today, every day, all day. They're here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know how to channel their energy. So, you know, so in relationships, it's the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we really got to learn how to channel that energy to the right place. You know what I'm saying?
But with these kids though, they equipped, they ready. But these kids, like their grandparents is 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge void that's missing in their life, and they're trying to find it. They don't know what it is, and that's a big point with that. Like they so like on go, but they so like ready to have what they don't have. Like their parents not there. You know what I'm saying? They whole family not equipped to even be the person that they need to be for them. So, and I think also when you was talking about, you know, with the early men and how we kind of how we go through these situations, like when the first situation comes from our mom and stuff like that. I think a lot of times we get played into this situation where we're lied to, and it first comes from like our mom, you know what I'm saying, and that breaks us. So like anything after that from a female, it kind of feels the same way, because with our mom we didn't have that trust, we didn't have that connect, we didn't have like that stability. And I feel like a lot of times we come up in broken homes, and stability is like it's a connection between two people, so that they make stability with a child, they make a stable home. And when a child don't have that, they lose sense of who they are. So a lot of men do grow up angry, and they mad because they don't understand who they are. They don't understand what's going on. But in the same aspect, it's like it's like this picture trying to be painted that nothing's wrong, but the child sees that something is out of place and feels it, but he don't have no understanding of what's going on, so he angry. You know what I'm saying?
So when you say he knows that nothing's wrong, nothing can be wrong. He doesn't have a choice.
Right.
From a child to a man, it's like you know whatever going on with you is just thrown under the rug. We don't have so many conversations because obviously as men we go to men.
Right.
So we're trying to go to men in our lives, and they like, man, come on, my nigga, you got this, young G. You know what I'm saying? They talk to you on some like, bro, I'm talking about my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, emotions, bro. Like, I'm really thinking about it. And they hitting you with some, you know what I mean, some type of street game. You know what I mean? In the conversation, trying to be cool, still trying to be relevant in the conversation, but they certain level that they trying to keep up with.
I give you no real guidance.
And they're not giving you nothing. And so in return, you know where you go? Go to the rappers. You go to the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was influenced by music, bro, 1,000%. So, like, my goddess will tell you, like, I listen to music based on how I felt. If I had it on my mind, that's the type of music I'm listening to. If I'm sad, that's the type of music I'm listening to. If I'm happy, that's the type of music I'm listening to. That's how I was. I had to break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to what Kyle was saying, how whatever these people are doing and what they're aligned with at the time of creating these records, that's what you're gonna end up aligning with when you're listening to these records.
And speaking on that, my bad, not to cut you off. Oh shit, my bad. I'm gonna say real quick, like we gotta realize there's people consuming this stuff. Like there's beings on a higher level that consume the emotions you put off when you're listening to this stuff. And then on top of that, you think about organ harvesting and the black market of things of this nature. So there's a lot of consuming going on, literally, spiritually, energetically, when we are aligned with this death energy, and I feel like we got to acknowledge that, because really sitting in some of those emotions is like serving yourself up on a platter for some, we're not going to get too deep into that, but like for that energy to be harvested, because that's the point of some of this music, is to pull that energy out of you so that it can be harvested,
And
not to cut you off,
you good, but I like to think about it in terms of movies. I like superheroes and stuff like that, and supervillains, because they portray it real well. So anytime in a movie when you see a supervillain, what they trying to do? They trying to do something to everybody. They trying to shoot something at the highest point in the highest skyscraper and affect everybody, right? So when you talk about energy harvesting and things like that, and when they doing that to the people, you got to understand, bringing it back around to what Manifest was talking about the crystal children, and how they really don't have no sense of direction, because they don't know what to do. They don't have no guidance. So it's really up to us right now. You did want, well, not me, I'm a crystal child too, you know what I'm saying? But people that's older than me, you know what I'm saying, the indigo children and things like that, to really begin to shift their perspective, because when you're talking about crystal children, that's a reason why they're called crystal children, right? What does crystal do? In order for you to see the fractalities in this crystal, it has to light has to be refracted and shine through it, right? So the light that is being refracted through these children is the programming that's embedded within the indigo children, the adults, you know what I'm saying, the people in the media, you know what I'm saying, the uncles, the aunties and stuff like that. All of that energy is being channeled through their crystalline structure, because they're crystalline beings as well, and it's being sucked in by the crystal children, because we have to refract the light through us as crystal children to create that rainbow for the rainbow children, so that they can be ascended, so they can be full of light and things like that.
That is another form of astral projection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, what you mean? What you mean? Hold on, I want to know my head. Hold on.
You said what you mean?
Because you're basically speaking about the influence and the work that's done, and how this energy is influencing this whole generation. So these are two different generations. These are two different. They can kind of represent two different type of lifespans and two different type of energies, you know, and alignments. The 90s babies and 2000 babies is totally different. You know, and then you're going up, it's like a whole different, you know. So that these different energy stamps. But what you do now, like you said, since you are in that dimension as a crystal baby or a crystal child, us as the indigo children, what we do right now will affect and project on y'all. And then what y'all do will project and affect on the babies.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you think about a projection, if you're watching a movie, what is that doing? It's literally projecting out a certain image, whatever you want that to be. So we're talking about projecting energy, though. So what does energy do? Energy is going through travel and flow and transmute, and you know, it's limitless.
That's big.
And that's why you have a lot of these youth, you know what I'm saying, these crystal children just going crazy, you know what I'm saying, in these states of psychosis, in these states of rambunctious activities and going in the hoods and shooting up schools and stuff like that. Is because they're taking in all this. That's what I'm saying, and that too, because they're taking in all these frequencies, and it's so powerful, and because they ain't tapped into that dark matter energy, which is capable of transmuting all that type of energy, they're going crazy. They're not able to alchemize anything, and now it's just coming out however it wants to come out.
Yeah, I feel like it's the only way to really,
like, for real, like, you know, just start with us and just loving each other more. Like, it's okay, my brother. You know, it's okay, God. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I just feel that too. Ego and pride has, you know, especially like played us in our community. You feel that, okay, I'm the big man. You know what I mean? I'm the one in the hood. I got this. I got that. And pride and ego has also played this too. So definitely just continue to be selfless, holding ourselves accountable, being responsible. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? And with no ego attached, no agenda, no motive. You feel me? And when we can get there, you feel me?
Yeah. One thing that always helped me and what I utilize throughout my journey is whenever I do something, I'm doing as though I'm doing it for myself, but not in the way you think. So let's just say if I was to draw a picture, I'm drawing the picture, but I'm imagining me drawing a picture for another me that's on the other side, right? So as far as loving yourself and loving these different aspects of yourself, it's really important for you to stay aware and pay attention to how your psyche works and the triggers and things like that, because now what you're doing is studying yourself to a point to where you can study somebody else. And when you are able to study somebody else, now you're able to go into these people who are full of pride and full of anger and full of this street mentality and don't want to talk. And now you know how to fluctuate through the words that they're using and the way that they're feeling, because you did it within yourself. You don't went through your own underworld and all the different possibilities that it have in a Hellenistic condition. And now you're able to go through other people's underworld as well and able to help them transmute their own energy because you done did it for yourself.
Yeah, and this take me to like the Karate Kid. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole wax on or wax off thing. You know what I'm saying? Because during that time, he didn't know why he was doing that. He didn't know why he kept telling her to do the same thing over and over. He kept doing the same thing over and over. But that's the part that, you know, the discipline is how you really honor yourself. It's how you overcome yourself. It's with the discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's the part where you can really understand yourself and really be able to weather them storms inside yourself with discipline. That's the part that the younger generation They not nobody nobody grandfather telling them to go wash do the yard, you know what I'm saying? Or do the dishes, and they got something to do every day. They don't got that, you know what I'm saying? They on social media, they outside, and ain't no structure, ain't no discipline, and that's how I feel like that's how they getting missed because they got all this energy, they got all this heart, but they ain't got it. It's not in tune. It's not in structure, and I feel like that's the difference between why they don't have no direction and as far as somebody that's in a line with they self and where they're trying to go.
Facts.
Just speaking on that.
Knowledge.
Yeah, man.
Let the guys know, man, the God is love discipline.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, not like
Fact.
far as you
It's structure.
them, but I'm saying far as you being a disciplined being.
Mhm.
That is very like my God is sometimes it's annoying dealing with me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very much so I don't play about if I wanted a certain way, like I want a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
really, I'm really particular with my energy. I really don't, you know what I mean? I don't deal with certain stuff that normal people deal with, if that makes sense. So it takes a lot sometimes for her, to deal with me in that area, but she respects it on so many levels.
Right.
Even I'll give an example of healing. And Julio kind of, it's marriage. You have times where, and really it wasn't even our marriage. It was, I was going through a spiritual awakening and she wasn't going through a spiritual awakening. And that'll just shift the whole house. Because obviously I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me. You trying to ask me what's going on with me. I can't tell you. It's just, But in that process, she saw me being consistent, and then she started to see like, hold on, wait, it's working.
Right.
Hold on, wait, like this is really working. Okay, and I'm giving her my testimony. Baby, so I'm talking to her about certain things, and man, like I came to this conclusion. I had to do this to get this. And try it. No, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't necessarily like disagreeing with it, but it just wasn't happening at the time. Sure, one day she'll help you certain things, but she had her own steps she took first before she got to my steps. Because we all got our own journey. But my point is that through that discipline, she was able to start doing her work, and now me and her actually can have deep conversations and talk about healing. And we are on the same wave. Whenever I'm out of whack, man, Julio called my wife the Oracle because of the things that she says. She always we got to get this in line too, guys, because some of the guys are leaving their accountability, are leaving their balance. Y'all leaving these women because they getting on your ass. Excuse my French, but that chaos, that's the chaos energy. We need it. You know what I'm saying? If that situation, exact situation right there, where I was telling my guys I was feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I was in my feelings. I'm telling her how I feel about a certain situation. It wasn't about her. You know what I'm saying? If I'm telling her how I feel about a certain situation, she could have just co-signed me.
Right.
Just could have, and I could have been on some it's up, some smoke. It's not on some kids stuff. You know what I'm saying? Doing something that I shouldn't even. But she had to check me. She had to align me, and sometimes we get mad at that. It might be your homie. Your homie might have to say, bro, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that. Like bro said, like Jay said, you know what I'm saying? You got it, bro. You right. I think that's you know what I mean? Like that's what we gotta be on, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be on that, like that chaos energy is to get us in balance.
Yeah. That's why I say, man, if y'all got homies, man, y'all better check your homies. Cause if you got a homie and y'all walk around with each other all day and you got a booger in your nose and he don't tell you,
that's not the homie. That's clearly not the homie.
Right.
Yo, that's crazy.
Celebrate Sunday, mama.
But yeah, man.
My mama, you know
Discipline.
what I'm saying? And I like to go and acknowledge that every time. You know what I'm saying? We do celebrate Sunday as a family, you know what I'm saying? So this is for all my kings. Please listen. You have helped me understand what a king will be. What a king will be, my king. That's deep.
I
So receive that, I say. Much gratitude.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
And speaking on the discipline, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little tidbit. Like discipline, especially discipline in honoring the words and the things you commit to or agree to. Like if you tell your homie, like, yo, let's meet up tomorrow at the movies at 9:30, you know, and your homie don't show up. Or better example, right? You're doing business with somebody, and Paul, dude's name is Paul. He tells you he's gonna send you these documents on Thursday. Paul don't send you the documents. Like, what's the first thing you're gonna think about, Paul? You know
He's unreliable.
He's bullshit. He doesn't honor his commitments. But when you like have discipline with, you know what I'm saying, and specifically with the things that come out of your mouth, you tell somebody you're gonna do something, or you make a commitment. When you have discipline and honor the commitment, you showing the universe that what you speak, you're gonna stay disciplined to manifest.
Right.
So over time, the
Yeah.
universe start to meet you halfway, and it's like, okay, cool. Everything he's speaking, he's manifesting and sticking to it. So at that point, everything that comes out of your mouth becomes law in the universe, and the universe starts to accept, like, okay, whatever he's saying is becoming manifest. And that type of specific discipline can, like, it's just an example of how powerful discipline can be.
So can I give you the coldest example currently on the subject of what we're talking about? They're using that same discipline against us.
And the music,
You see what I'm saying? They're using it against us in the music. It's already, so we see how powerful it is, you know.
Right.
And truthfully, you know, it's. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make this announcement. Forget it, Kyle. It's up. You know what I'm saying? We have a high vibrational project coming out called 223. And I'm because of the title, exactly 223. And so we're gonna follow the spirit on this one. And I'm not gonna show the artwork and nothing like that, but on the artwork, it is a 223 with a crystal.
I seen the artwork. Kyle, that shit is fire, you know, my guy.
And Kyle, y'all tap in with the guy.
When I seen that, I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Okay.
And so crazy. Obviously next year is 223, you know.
Big 7 energy.
You know, at the same time, 223, you know, obviously is a bullet, and that's all everybody on us. So it's like the trend now to black people killing other black people. It's like it's a real live trend right now. So we're doing a project. We're doing a whole. The reason why we're doing this project is to be a part of the energy shift, to give y'all options of another type of music to listen to that's still lit and still on that, got them vibes and them waves, but it's high vibrations. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point of saying it is when we come from the trenches, we come from these places. When you become aware, when you awaken and you align with your heart space and you balance out your chakras and you work on healing your inner child, and you go through the memories of the heart space, and you actually build a habit of meditation and getting grounded, and listening to high vibrational music and doing breath work, and just spreading love, daily affirmations, all these certain things. When you build these habits and do these certain things, they are actually the key, I feel like, to stop and to shift the world. So my point is that whatever you have a passion about, do it online, do it around your family, do it. It's time for us to project, because that's how we're going to make the change. You know what I'm saying? We gotta. I think we at the point of the show where we finna talk about the solutions. You know what I'm saying?
My bad. I mean, cut you off, man. But yeah, like even what you're saying, like that's how we reach who we trying to reach. Is we actually like do it out loud, like put them thoughts out loud, put them thoughts in the universe. It's like what you said, exactly how it has to be done. Like you got to do it in the street. You got to do it around your family. You got to do it around people you don't know. Like, and this is how it becomes contagious. It becomes infectious, because people like, yo, this dude crazy. But then it's like, yo, show me how to do that. How you did that? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's how you can be consumed. You actually put something out that's constructed and that's thought out to be presented. Is when you do it, when you intentional about what you putting out and you do it in the most like unfiltered way anywhere, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? People that want to make it to the NBA or they want to make it to the NFL, they go to the basketball court, they go to the field, hell, sleet, snow, sunny. This dude outside and it's snowing, what's wrong with him? This dude on the basketball court is raining like shit, what's wrong with him? You gonna see what's wrong with him because that repetition gonna show. But that's what we gotta do, and that's what we gotta, put our mind to and stick to.
Yeah.
I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back around to discipline. When I was talking about discipline, right? So when Julio was bringing up those situations and things like that, how to build your discipline. This is what really helped me as well. The smallest things, like I said, when we was talking about forgiveness and stability and that groundwork and that foundation, the minute things is how you get to the most macrocosmic things throughout your journey. So as far as building discipline and taking the disciplinary actions to be a more calm and sound-minded person, start small. So what I would do, let's just say if I was walking throughout the house and I seen something on the floor or I dropped something, normally my mom would say, oh, just pick it up the next time you walk back around. And I would keep walking. But as I continue to think about that, I would stop myself and say, no, pick it up right now. So just small things like that will trigger your subconscious mind to sprout that seed of discipline to be it'll form into a superpower now. So for those who don't have discipline as well, so people they kind of look at people follow other people as a bad thing, but I kind of look at it in a dualistic nature, because of course when you follow somebody else and they on a bad path, it can lead to bad situations and things like that. But let's just say in your nature, right, in your archetype, in your makeup, when the cosmos generated you here in this realm, you just a follower. That's what you have to live life as a follower, right? So but you more aware and about the knowledge of self and things like that. So you understand that you're a follower. So now you understand how you can take that aspect of you being a follower and turn it into a superpower. So let's just say you want to stop being angry or you want to be more disciplined and stuff like that. Go look at people who is talking about these things or go take on a different traits and characteristic of other people who is already embodying that energy, because now you're stepping in your purpose and your superpower and your mirror neurons and your ability of mimicry to now mimic what you want for yourself by envisioning in others. So when you're talking about us as a people, right? Us as a neuromelanated people, we work the best off of symbols, off of sound, off of frequency, off vibration, right? You don't have to say nothing to us. If somebody can walk in a room and you know exactly what they own, exactly what they're thinking, and exactly what they're about to do. So when you think about it in that aspect and think about it in that aspect of how we can help our people, it's really just placing more things throughout the neighborhood that can shift their consciousness and shift their frequency. So in my neighborhood, where I'm from, when I was younger, this is like a thing in our neighborhood. Like if you come to Youngstown, Ohio, you would know, like everywhere you go, on anything you can see outside, they write Eddie loves Debbie. That's the big mystery around here. Nobody know who Eddie and Debbie is. Nobody know. But everybody knows Eddie loves Debbie, right? So that led everybody to go research and search up and look up who is this person? And then they eventually found out it was a couple here that was writing this, writing it everywhere, you know what I'm saying, since they've been together. But when you think about the whole process and how they got to think about how powerful the symbology was of Eddie loves Debbie everywhere. Just imagine if we go around and how people place missing poster signs everywhere. We just go place sacred geometry on lampposts and stores and things like that, and how it will affect the psyche of people. It will begin to affect them in a way to where they're going, what is that? I want to know what that is. I want to know. You just little things like that, the small things, they can shift.
And it's free.
It's a massive fact, and it's free.
That's hard. No, we gotta do that. Because I'm all about the infiltration. You know what I'm saying? We got infiltrated, so now we got to infiltrate to get our stuff back. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of infiltration right there. Like I like that. And it's subconscious. Our subconscious is 90%, probably even more than that, controlling our life. You know what I mean? So that's very powerful. Bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say I used to do graffiti. That shit made me want to get back in the. I used to put up the. This was like years ago in DC, but I used to do the IRA here and there. But
that's a whole gift. Like I look at people like people who have gifts like that, especially graffiti artists, as like cosmic theologic
Yeah,
time
facts.
stampers where they just travel everywhere and just leave things for people, leave gems for people. It's like a video game.
I was
You know
just
what I'm
about to
saying?
say though, yeah.
Like you run around
There's a
playing
bunch of
GTA,
stuff you
you
could
might
go up
find a
to.
stack of money in a room. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Go
So
up to
it's the
things and
same
read
thing.
things.
Exactly. It's the same thing as far as that. Like, even about your personal life, just start using more symbols and see how it affects you. And then when you see how it affects you, think of a creative way to where you can recreate it and put it out to the masses to where it can affect everybody. It could be as simple as you create a phone case that's, you know what I'm saying, made out of a specific type of crystal, and it got, you know what I'm saying, sacred geometry over it. A lot of people eat that up. You dig what I'm saying? So putting that everywhere. I don't care if you, hey, every time you hand out a McDonald's kids meal, give them one of these stickers. You know what I'm saying? It's a sacred geometrical structure on it.
You're just saying it seems small, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just far as, you know, just basically, you know, we have to shift. We have to shift the frequency. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I was really going, you know, when we say as far as the solution, you know what I'm saying? I would say be a man, and to be a man, you have to love your inner child. And so to be a man, you have to cry. You know, be comfortable with crying. You know, men need to get to a place where you're comfortable expressing your emotions, because what we don't know is that, you know what I'm saying, you know, as men, we just rah, Mr. Macho. But if you actually look up these words that you use, like emotion, and the etymology of emotion is actually connected to your intuition. And so when you say your woman is emotional, but she found out you was cheating because she's the intuition, you know, so don't, you're blocking your intuition. That's why niggas going to parties that they shouldn't go to. They probably heard it up here and was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really, if you was in tune with your intuition, your emotions, then you would have known how to go to that party.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
And see,
saying?
that's the difference. Oh, go ahead.
No, you good. No, let's go.
Yeah, like that's so key what you just said, because the majority of people, they do what, like, they live their life on autopilot. Like, they not even question. That, to me, that's all consciousness is being able to question your own thoughts.
Right.
You feel me? And it's like, once we can get there, and that's why I say, like, some of the solutions really, like you said, just starting with us, you know, being more loving, and it's also by the lifestyle, just really living it out authentically, whatever that may feel for somebody. And, you know, family, friends, or whoever around, they can feel it, because you can talk all this spiritual, this talk or whatever, but if you really not living it and they can't really feel it, it don't really matter. So the lifestyle, the generation, and just being able to question your own thoughts, like, okay, I know this music is this and that, but it's kind of relatable to me. But you got to be able to, got to question your own thoughts and go from there. You feel me?
Take control of your own life. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm gonna talk to the guys. You know what I'm saying? You really think you're in control? You know what I'm saying? You really think you just, you know, Mr. Macho, like I said, you in the wheel and can't nobody stop you, but really you're not in control of nothing. Say that. You know what I'm saying? You're being programmed in your mind to think like this, move like this, wear this, dress like this, talk to him like this, talk to her like this. When you go around here, you gotta change your vibe up, because if you're gonna be weak because you do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're everywhere you go, you're being programmed to move and to become a whole way. You're a whole creative player out here. You know what I'm saying? And so so to actually knowing thyself is detaching from the creative player, detaching from the game. They call it the game, the rap game, the game. It's all the
dope game.
The dope game.
You see what I'm saying? So to detach from this creative player that they have created you to be, who's on autopilot and who doesn't think for self, and who is actually, that's why you're so scared, because you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know.
Yeah. Wake up the next day and be controlled and be took over because you listen, this new song dropped and it took you back to your childhood. You don't even remember your childhood, but it's a memory that happened to you and it got you angry. And then some nigga said, "What's up, bro?" And you say, "I ain't my bro," and just
just trigger them.
That's how easy people get killed in the hood.
My fault. Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. So, you know, and me and Jay was talking about this as well. And I talked to Julio about this. I say, peace, God. and they get offended. You know, and I was telling Jay, I kind of started saying peace family like consistently at this point, and sometimes I've still got like, you know, and one of the lines I said in my song, in one of the songs in my project, me and Kai, that I was like, you know, I say peace God, you know, I forgot the bar points. I said peace God and it got comfortable. And so my point is that we have to learn how to be comfortable with accepting love from each other. Right. It don't gotta always be aggressive. I don't gotta walk up on you like, what's up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Punk ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't gotta be like that. Like, it could be, you know what I'm saying? We are masculine does not mean tough.
Exactly.
Masculine, you are a protector. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, that's for ego. The crown, that is in your shadow, your ego is there to protect your family. Your ego is there to protect you from scammers, from bullshit, from manipulation. I mean, you are standing in front of every man. Like, nope.
Your first line of defense.
You like the goalie on the soccer field. You ain't nothing getting in here unless it's you know what I'm saying? That's what you are. Other than that, we out of line.
Yeah. That's deep, bro.
But like I said, that tough guy, bro, is bro, let go of the tough guy, bro. Mm-hmm. The tough guy is childish. The tough guy is a big kid. You know what I'm saying? I used to throw temper tantrums, bro. I know what they were, bro. They were temper tantrums, bro. Oh man.
And we really got suckered, not to cut you off. We got suckered into, like, you know, a lot of times as youth and even into adulthood, we'll try to equate things that's weak as feminine, like, oh, that's some, you know, that's some bitch shit, or that's some feminine type shit. And it's like we started to equate femininity with being weak, and we started equating being compassionate and being in the heart space as weak, which I feel like, you know, was intentional programming to get us from not unlocking the power that comes with that type of energy. You know, to really, you know, it's not weak to forgive. It's not weak to let bygones be bygones, to live another day. And, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like it also comes back to our idea of family, because, you know, when it comes when we take it back to family, that's one of the first things that they intentionally attacked was the family unit. And it's like, if you a man and you looking at another man and you instantly look at him and think, this man probably got a family, he got a mother that loves him, he might have kids that rely on him, he might have a guidance that rely on him. If you was able to think in terms of prioritizing family and us being one big human family, there would be a different level of what I feel restraint, because, you know, it allows you to have a certain empathy, because you realize that's somebody's son, you feel me? That's somebody's father, that's somebody's whatever they may be. You know, it's just a certain level of empathy that you give to every man that you come across that says, you know, I don't know who you might be to somebody, but this disagreement or this squabble, this debacle we having isn't worth them people not getting to experience you. So I feel like that whole idea of family, not even just us seeing each other as family, but us considering the family aspect. You know, and I was talking to King about this because there was a dude in my area, one of my cousin's boys that he knew close, that got killed at his own apartment on his birthday. And, you know, it's so crazy to me because it's like, bro, you know, half the time it be people, the person knows the person they're killing. So it's like, how you could lack the decency to look at somebody, know it's somebody's birthday, the day that they came into the world, and have so little compassion that you take their life. You know, he was a father, you know what I'm saying? He was known in the community as a musician. So it's like, for you to stand in front of somebody and not consider none of that, you know, and relate the entire moment and their entire existence to that disagreement or to that feeling of hate or jealousy you have for them, I feel like that shit would be a lot different if we considered each other in the sense of family more, you know, because that I feel like that has a lot to do with the heart space and extending the same love that we got for ourselves and our loved ones. Because we can't deny everybody who's melanated loves their family. They love their cousin, they love their mama, they love everybody viciously, you know? So it's like,
do they love them enough? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, when I hear what you're saying, I think it goes back to us as well. If that person should think about, I ain't gonna kill this person because my family, because my baby, because that's what happens. I got situations, my family, you know what I'm saying, where I have more than one member of my family that have been in prison for attempted murder and murder. They're very close to me. People are very close to me, and both situations lost both people.
See,
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's kind of
That's-
cold. Like
not to cut you off, it's deep. I read a story the other day. It was, I think it was in this area. 2 dudes shot each other and killed each other.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
seen that. I seen
I
that.
forget where it was,
Yeah.
but that's some real sad shit. Like if we being
Right.
honest, it's like
Yeah, I
you know,
seen
and it, to me, like it's one thing to be protected, you know, to keep a strap, whatever you want to call it, to protect yourself. But when you dealing with 2 amped up people, the second a weapon is shown, now the other person, like the shit moves so fast where it's like both parties aren't considering that y'all could both not be here. Like the whole situation could be such a waste that everybody, you know, both parties' life is lost, and now both families are grieving. When it's like, you know, I feel like our people, when we get in these situations, our entire existence comes down to this moment. It's like, I can't be tried. I can't let them see me as this. If they try this,
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
everybody's gonna try it. And it's
Yeah.
like we bring our entire existence down to these moments. But I felt like if we was able to, you know, when they talk about the 4th dimension, it's like an aspect of it where you can really witness yourself, and you're already a witness or an observer in this realm, but you can become a witness to the witness. Where in some of these situations, you see yourself squabbling, arguing with this person, and in the heat of the moment, that's all that matters is that issue, them damaging your ego or hurting your pride, whatever. But if you was to snap yourself out of the situation and see yourself from a 4th dimensional perspective, you will go, damn, this moment is small as hell in the respect of my life.
Can I be real with you, bro? I gotta counter this with something super cold because it go back to the divine feminine. My divine feminine automatically, my wife, my goddess, she automatically brings me to that type of level because obviously I put in the work as far as my crown and be aligned as a god to be in my guidance aspect, but she actually brings me into that naturally. Her being there in the room makes me move like that. Me knowing I gotta leave and I gotta go home to her makes me move. So I'm automatically looking at a nigga. I'm
And it's
5
deep because
ahead.
that's deep because that's technically you operating 4th dimensionally, because you know, as I'm pretty sure a lot of us know in here, the 4th dimension is void of time. You know, when we extend
Right.
certain levels of the 4th dimension, the astral are void of time. So if you was to 4th dimensionally view an apple, you would see the seed of the apple, you would see the red shiny part of the apple that you see in the store, and you would see it decayed in a death state, but you would see it all at one time. So you would perceive this outside of time and seeing all possibilities of this apple. And in the same respect, in a situation like that, you're not just seeing this person in front of you and just feeling that emotion. You seeing every consequence that stems from you doing whatever you about to do. You see how it's about to affect more than just yourself, and it's like you're seeing it above just that moment, because a lot of this that we're talking about is in the heat of a moment. It's a road rage incident where somebody flicks somebody off. Now they done triggered them from every time that they done got disrespected by somebody. Now they shooting at their car, and the moment just escalates super fast. And I feel like if we was able to come to a place in our consciousness where, like King said, like where you got a goddess and she's like you looking at her, she's reminding you like, whatever you do here tonight, we got to deal with it later. Like I'm gonna have to deal with whatever you're dealing with. So I feel like that's powerful because the divine feminine can bring your awareness to that level higher in the moment, where you're not just considering how you feel in that moment, but you're considering how what you do could make other people feel away. How it can cause a lot of hurt.
Let's make it clear. Submission is not just about divine feminine.
Right.
Divine masculine got to submit too.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you know we have to, only if
Yeah.
we submit to that energy.
Yeah, I want to say this too, man. Just like when you was talking about your people that was in prison and stuff like that. Like I feel like a lot of times, just like the split second reactions come from a lot of that culture come from prison. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that, you know, life or death, or we got it. Like somebody steal something from me, I gotta handle it. A lot of that stuff come from prison. It come from people that ain't gonna leave. It come from people that's gonna spend the rest of their life in prison. So everything mean everything to somebody in prison. You know what I'm saying? And then that culture get transferred into the real world. So we get to handling situations the same type of way. Like we boxed up, we locked up, we ain't gonna never see daylight. And the mentality of somebody that's never gonna come home and the mentality of somebody that got 2 years or 6 months is totally different. Somebody that know they coming home, they not going. If something happened to them or somebody do something they don't like, they gonna think about it because they know they coming home. Somebody that's in a state where they know they not coming home and somebody do something to them, they know that they don't have nothing to live for. You feel me? So that kind of translate into how men handle problems, how men just approach certain things because that whole mentality then got transferred from prison. Like
that's relevant too, in regular life because there's a lot of guys out here that, if you being honest, that don't have much to live for. Like these situations and environments they in, they not walking around thinking like, okay, I got to play my cards right because I got all these opportunities. They looking like, man, I already don't got nothing going on. It's like well, you don't have nothing to lose. Like Marty's saying, that's deep because that's a real life thing. It's like people operate from that mentality of like, damn, the only thing I do got is my dignity, and I got to protect that. If you take that away from me, then I really got nothing. And it's like, that's why, and bringing it back to what Kai was saying, that self-awareness and that knowledge of self, because when you know who you are, when you know what you connected to lineage-wise, it's bigger than that and it's greater than that because you know that, a lot of this cosmic gold is intellectual and it's emotional. Like a lot of the information that all of us have been able to come across individually and then bringing it together collectively, it is life-giving, So it's like, again, it only comes from that lack of self-awareness where it's like you feel like you have nothing to lose when really you got everything to lose because you stand to gain everything with the right awareness, And a lot of people in our community live by that. Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
What is the value of a black life?
That's why I want to touch on as far as knowing who you are. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's really the main basis behind everybody. If you really look at it, nobody really knows who they are because it's all of these programmings. Everybody is programming and projecting onto this quantum celestial hard drive. You know what I'm saying? What we call a neuromelanated black man or black woman or god or goddess. It's all different programmings from other people. So you never really have the chance to know who you are. So I want to give a little tip to help y'all out. You dig what I'm saying? As far as beginning to know who you are, because even your birth name still holds value in things like that. But the names that you are able to create unto yourself, as far as when you go further into your journey, helps you to really have a sense of who you are and what you can be. So when you on your journey and everybody know you as Bam Bam from around the block because you got hands, well, you don't want to live like that no more. So recreate yourself a new name. You know what I'm saying? That's meaningful and purposeful because then you begin to embody that energy. You begin to program yourself now instead of your mama or your daddy or somebody else saying that you ain't this or you ain't that or go back to the streets because that's where you belong. You dig what I'm saying? Now you're showing yourself who you are. Instead of asking everybody else, you go within and pull something out and embody it to know who you are. And then don't stop there. You create more and more names for yourself. That's why I'm Khalil, and then my artist name is Kai Khalil because I want to create another persona, another energy, another a type of dark matter energy, creative energy that I can tap into. And you know what I'm saying? So when y'all really get a sense of self in that aspect and know who you are by knowing what you are not, then you can know that you are everything. You begin to embody everything, but you have to come from a grounded, solid foundation first, right?
And that's you, bro. I think that's deep because my government name, hate it. I love it. Like it's not like a bad name or nothing, but when people use it, I get uncomfortable. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like I be feeling like it's the government, bro. I be like, bro, like not like that type of like, bro. Julio called me by my real name one time. and we almost got into an argument.
He was like, he started coming. He was like, "Hey, bro," he's like, "Don't call me by my real name, bro." And I know for a fact he's not about if people are waiting on the edge of their seat like he's about to give us his real name. He's not about to divulge it. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now, and I'm gonna let y'all know it's deep because his name it's in our culture. Let's just say that, and it has a certain kind of.
Already.
Say less. But all right, so then instead I will share this because Kai said something deep. He said like even your birth name because just this weekend I had my mom just retired after like good amount of time working, so I went to a retirement party. And this dude walks up to me and I'll divulge my name. You know what I'm saying? He was like Julian. I go by Julio, but my birth name is Julian. So like he walks up, he's like Julian. He's like, that's a powerful name. And I'm like, I've heard that a couple times. That's deep. Yeah. He was like, you probably didn't know an emperor after Caesar was named Julian, but he was known for moving Rome away from Christianity and back to things like spiritualism and paganism based on the land. So I'm like, damn, that sounds like me. So then he's like, he was also big into spirituality and he died on his deathbed talking spirituality and philosophy to his friends. I was like, that's me. So like what you just said is like even my birth name that I don't use has some type of connection to my soul that somebody was able to relate to me. So it's like
all puzzle pieces. Exactly.
And like you said it, because I'm big on that as well, that recreation of self, because we're multidimensional people and the society we're in, they make you believe that who you are is just based on what you look like, where you was born, what religion you in. And they don't tell you that you can use your imagination, your visualization to mold yourself as a person. Because when we, everything starts in the mind. The device that all of us streaming from right now started as a thought in somebody's head. So it's like when you know that you can create yourself from the ground up, a lot of people be like, nah, but that's fake. Like, I can't just be anything. But it's like, no, like Kai said, you can really start with a name and go from there and see your life as like your own movie. Like what would your ideal movie character do in the situation you're in? Like, if this movie was about you being in the struggle, what would that person do?
This is a movie. It's a projection, like a movie is the same thing. And I want to talk about the name change because obviously my name used to be King Cross before King Manifest, and it was and before that actually it was Cross Real Walk because Real Walk is still the tribe, still the movement, the family, but. My name was Cross Real Walk. So Real Walk is that, I'm always on the realest path. I was in Christianity at the time, Christian rapper at the time. So I was saying like, I saw a lot of fake Christians, you feel me? So I was saying, I'm on the real walk. You know what I'm saying? So I was Cross Real Walk, but I was embodying the real walk. And man, I'm talking about it was whooping my ass. You hear me? Like it was for real. And I called myself Cross the Voice in the Wilderness. I said I was John the Baptist. And so I would embody the wilderness, and I was the person that spoke about what happened in the wilderness, and I would embody it. And so what happened? I went through the wilderness, and what's so deep, like I said, I went to King Cross, and that was basically the same thing. Whenever I had my awakening, I was frustrated with the cross because keep in mind, I already knew what the cross represented basically in the layman's terms, death. And what's so deep is that the reason why I became because I looked at it as it meaning salvation. And so look at that trick. But as I was leaving it, I was leaving death, and I say, well, who am I? You see, you get to that point.
Hey, because that's what they want you to not because I'm saying like agreeing with you. They want you to see death and salvation. As we know, so that's heavy.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's powerful. That's a whole nother. So you also lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry,
bro. I'm ready to go in on that. I did lose my train of thought. So, what was I talking about?
Name change
to Cross.
Oh yeah. So boom. So I get to that point where I don't know what to do, and I think this is where we get lost there too. We feel like we don't know who we are, and we just want to go back to what we thought we was. No, go through the process. So I had to go through that process, and I had to put in the work, and Manifest kept coming, and it's deep because I got it through healing is a manifestation. Healing is like number one manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Healing yourself, you're manifesting it. So I like to tell people I could turn a bad day into a good day. I'll turn the bad life into a good life. You know, so you know what I mean? Exactly. So so point is that I became King Manifest, and in this I say I'm detaching from death, trauma, pain. You know, standing on that hood, nigga. Like nigga, I gotta rep for my people in the hood. I detached from all that, and I started to live in the place of the future of living in a life of abundance and prosperity, and wanting to travel the world and actually wanted to be happy and wanted to things that I looked at that's some white people stuff. You know, I looked at the things that I look at as true happiness. I looked at it as that was some white people stuff. You know, but my point is that when I became King Manifest and I started to walk in, and truthfully, my name is not King Manifest, it's Divine Manifest. I just didn't want to change it because I got a whole artist name, so I just kept it. So there's another level, like you're saying, you know, Kai, even to that. But the point I'm making is that everybody making is that these things change your life. Because now when I go somewhere, like you know what I'm saying, ask me who I am, I meet new people, manifest. Manifest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and think about just the power behind that, because when you embody an energy like that, this is why it's so intrinsic for all of us to step in our power like that, because when you meet other people, you are literally doorways to other people's reality. So let's just say if you wanted to be a billionaire, right, and you understand the whole concept behind interacting with other people and how your torus field and your electromagnetic field interacts. When you meet somebody, you're literally opening up the doorway in their energy channel for what they have in your reality, because now you're aligned with that energy signature. So by you calling yourself Manifest and going around people saying I'm manifest, it's like they're meeting the God of manifest now. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? So that's unlocking something within them and helping them to embody that energy as well.
And it's crazy because when it comes to identity, a lot of people are waiting for things that happen that's going to stamp the identity. They're waiting for like, oh, when I get this job, then that's when I'm gonna see myself as this. Or when that right person come around, that's when I'm gonna see myself as this. Versus what Kai said, where it's like, nah, you're not waiting for nothing. Like I'm creating this already from up here, and I'm projecting it outward. It's like that's when you get into, you know, really living.
Give an example. When they kicked Kyrie off the Brooklyn Nets, was he still a basketball player or not?
Yeah.
If he identified himself as a basketball player only based off the Brooklyn Nets, you see what I'm saying? Then he's multi-dimensional being. That's what we got to understand. As much as he is a basketball player, he's not. He's way more. So we have to understand like that aspect of like you could be looking straight at something like a job, and that may be, you may be great at that. That may be a part of your gift. But there's many other areas right outside of that are you as well.
Yeah.
You know, and which one of them do you want to promote? And if you don't want to promote them on a daily basis, like Kai do, Kai say, you know what? When I do music, I'm aligned with this energy. When I'm on my spiritual and I'm teaching as a teacher, I'm aligned with this energy. And truthfully, we all think about that as Black family. We all got it. And as we 33 in here, we all got that. Every family got different nicknames. My cousin called me something different than my mama called me. My auntie called me something different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, so they're connecting with you off a different energy. And you respond to them. If my mama say my whole name today, I'm like, oh, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Because she's not finna say my whole. It's an energy I want to say my whole name.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's a statement.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the trick behind the whole thing for real. Like when you able to, especially when coming from that hood perspective or that hood mentality, just that shift to perspective, as in you understanding that that's not the only way that you are. You're not just that hood mentality type of person. You understand that you can be like this or you can be like that. I feel like Spider-Man portrayed that so perfectly. To whereas when Spider-Man first got his abilities, he was tore up. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't see. He was like super drunk. You know what I'm saying? Then he got up. He was like, hold on, I know who I am now. And then he created a whole suit and a whole new persona, and then he embodied that. And then within the No Way Home Spider-Man, Then he met the other aspects of himself, two other different Spider-Man that was completely different, but still one and the same. And it brought him back into a state of oneness because he seen he could be like this Spider-Man or this Spider-Man, or see the faults in both and the triumphs in both, and create a whole new Spider-Man within that. So when you're able to look at this stuff in that omniscient perspective and see that you can take his role, or you can take his role, you can take this road or that road, and then you can envision that all. We're not making a move at all, and you can just see how it all plays out. Now you can really step into your power and really know which route to take. You know what I'm saying? And be grounded and rooted in the now.
That's deep, because I got an affirmation that I use from time to time that says, "I take any form I choose."
That's fire.
Because, bro, because like we're energy beings, and you have that at your luxury. You can take on any form you choose, and that's the power essentially of I am. Being able to say, okay, you know what? I may not be patient, but you uttering "I am patient" helps you align with that every time you utter it, or "I am," you know, what have you. So it's like that, being able like to declare yourself as something, I feel like is important. That ability to decide who you are and project that outwardly for others, like that's very heavy, you know. That's deep, man.
Facts.
That's deep.
Goes back to, like I said, you know, that's one of the universal laws, the law of oneness. We're all connected. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're all connected.
I mess with the law of one heavy.
Yeah.
I could take y'all on a rabbit hunt right now on that Spider-Man thing, but I'm not.
Yo, the fact that you just been holding that in your mind since he said that is like,
it's been sitting here, bro. I was like, nah, you know.
Hey, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna just say this, and then you go do your own, and you go see what it is. I'm gonna just say, in my opinion, another aspect. Venom is another aspect.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, come on now.
Dark matter aspect.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now you got me wanting to go in.
Man, you were wild, because now my brain is over here spinning about like dark matter energy. Okay, Andy got it from Peter Parker. He got it from the original. Yeah, so you just did a number on my brain, like, damn, I ain't think about that.
And actually, how the spider actually activated his DNA. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Man.
But I feel like, you know, first and foremost, much gratitude meant to the guys. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I feel like tonight was like we talked about before, behind the scenes, everything is supposed to be. I feel like, you know, it's been a lot of jewels dropped. A lot of information, a lot of relatable subjects, you know what I'm saying? At this time, family, anybody in the chat, if y'all got any questions that y'all, or a specific thing y'all might want us to touch on before we wrap up, maybe something you feel like we didn't touch on pertaining to this subject, you know, or if you have a question, we definitely can tap in on that.
Yeah. I definitely feel as though we brought a different vibration to this topic as well, because everybody talk about the typical things with this topic, as far as the guns in the hood and the drugs in the hood and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful for this aspect in general, because y'all even shifted my perspective on things as far as what I can do around me and in my area to help people step into their power more, man.
I feel like, to be honest, you know, something Spirit telling me that's like, because, you know, obviously we all kind of in the spiritual community, and, you know, we're influencing things, you know, on a digital level. But I really feel like, you know, if we can get a lot of these youth, man, it's like, there's not too many conscious people, quote unquote, you know, in the spiritual community that's prioritizing talking to these young ones, you know, because these are the ones that need to hear this the most of, you know, instead of, you know, because how many times we can relate, how many times you heard growing up, you know, man up, be this, be that. But, you know, if some of these youngins had somebody in their ear letting them know that, like, you know, it's okay to be civilized. It's okay to exist in your heart space and not operate from your higher perspective. You know, I feel like, you know, we could kind of get in front of what's going on by attacking it from the root, you know, which is the babies, you know, and really instilling this in them. You know, if I had somebody teaching me about chakras, energy, awareness, man, from the time I was like 5, 6, or 7, like, it's astronomical, you know, what I might be doing right now. You know, so I feel like it's really that, you know, we got to tap in, even with not even just the super babies, but the adolescents, like, you know, talking to like a lot of these teenagers who not only are they going through the angst that comes with hormones and those new emotions, you know, they dealing with the streets and their environment as well. and it's making a perfect storm. You know, so I feel like, you know, really talking to these babies, man, but not just the babies, but the beings that's about to become adults, you know, that's about to be moving, you know, autonomously and on a core. Like, they the ones who need to hear us talk, because it's really a lot of the teens that's crashing out right now. You know, teens, 20-year-olds, you know.
And that's
so
crazy
like,
that you speak on that, because that, like what you said, is basically what this comment is about as well. Like, how can we help people see things from that perspective? And when you look at it in that aspect of a child or an adolescent, it's just something small, something not simple, something small to shift their perspective, and it takes them on a whole frenzy, you know what I'm saying, of information and wanting to do this and wanting to do that. Like, I remember the first time I seen what contact football was like. It blew my mind. I was like, what is that? Like, sign me up. I want to go. I was the smallest person though, you know what I'm saying? But I want to go play. So as far as people struggling to see things from that perspective, you have to understand that they are working on oscillating like crystal type of you know what I'm saying, mechanism, to whereas if it flips to one side, they're able to see through it, but if it flips to the other side, they can't see nothing. So when you understand it in an aspect like that, how can you penetrate their veil? How can you penetrate their mirror? How can you penetrate, you know what I'm saying, their mind's eye or the perspective that they have on reality? And it's something as simple as, hey, read this book real quick, or read this pamphlet, or check out this video. You dig what I'm saying? Or just show them by your actions. You dig? Like, we constantly trying to.
I have to make it clear that it's still on them though. So I think somewhere in the Bible is like has a scripture about, a metaphor about planting the seed on concrete. Can't do it. So everything that Kai is saying is 100% true, but only to, like you said, only if they looking out that lens where they actually are open to receive. And I think that's where it gets scary. Sometimes we want change for our family and for people that we love, but we can't force it on them. If they still want to be trapped in that certain thing, just know what you're saying will resonate at some point.
Facts. And that's what I was just finna touch on, for real, because like that's like a little bit what I experienced with my pops, as far as help him to see things from my perspective, because I'm like out there with it, and he's so boxed in as far as being in a ideology like the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. So I can't come out and tell him, hey, we live in an omniverse and there's a billion different versions of you that's everywhere. He'd be like, what are you talking about? That's demonic. That's this, that's that. So when I understand that he has to be ready and things like that, now I can understand how I can slip shit in, you know what I'm saying, to shift his perspective. And it's been working. So I would say certain questions or ask him certain things just to leave him out there. Like one day I asked him, what do you think God is, as far as not thinking of God in the aspect of a physical person sitting up on a cloud? You know what I'm saying? And I left him alone for like a month or two. And then he came back and called me. It was like, bro, you absolutely right about what you've been saying, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So as far as understanding that some people can't be penetrated, you know what I'm saying? We understand that as far as energy, all you have to do is begin to free up those blockages, right? So it might be so blocked to the point that where you can't get through. But nigga, if you got some Drano and some hot water, it's a wrap.
And it's deep, because you look at that shit like plants, like a tree grows right in front of everybody, and you don't perceive it growing. One day it's just big as shit, and you're just like, damn. But it's like all that consistent sunlight, all them consistent waterings, it was silently growing. So like when it comes to people, it's like somebody related to like a flower. Like when a flower is blossoming, if you was to try and go and pry it open, you're gonna damage the flower. Instead of consistently you hitting it with some water here, you hitting it with some sunlight there, eventually it's gonna blossom, you know.
And that's powerful, bro. That's powerful. Like, especially when you bring it back to nature and trees in general, because trees literally symbolize how we're supposed to interact as a people. So when you look at a tree, and let's just say a tree is getting ready to die, it has some type of disease or something like that. Well, then you will see, because of the tree is decaying, it taps into its omniscience, it's being its own sovereign omniverse, and it creates mushrooms under the tree. And then these mushrooms create something called a mycelium network, to whereas now this tree has a cell phone to call other trees now through the mycelium network,
across the universe,
right?
So
across
the planet.
This tree it's disease. So now it's sending out signals to other trees through this mycelium network saying, hey, can you guys spare me some minerals and some vitamins so I can get back strong again? So
send it right to them.
Right, and when you look at trees in that aspect, you can really see that even in a more powerful aspect, to whereas you can look at a tree and it's growing on all types of poles and buildings. You like I done seen trees grow straight through a pole. You dig what I'm saying? Something metal. Like, so that just goes to show you when you have that strong rooted solid foundation, you're able to persevere through it all, no matter what hits you.
And like you said, like that concept, like you can't force somebody, and like King said, you can't force somebody. What you can do is you just keep shining your light. You keep dropping seeds on them every single day. The tree might not grow, but that don't matter to you, you know? And it's like a lot of the times we invested in like, man, I'm dropping all these seeds. They're not coming to the light of what I'm telling them. And it's like, you know, they're gonna, just like a plant, we saying it's gonna grow. Every seed of every plant has a different time cycle. It's got a different amount of light in it. It's got a different amount of water it requires. And it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? A daisy's not gonna blossom the same rate as a rose. But the daisy don't say to the rose, like, hey, you gotta see it this way. It's still gonna get its light and its water, and it's still gonna blossom at its own rate, you know? And it's just like, as long as we're doing the work within ourselves, that shit is gonna radiate and spread that light naturally. And people, in my personal opinion, and I've seen some stubborn people, man, do a 180 where they schooling me on. I'm like, just last year you was eating pork and shit like that, like. But like, it can, you know, a lot of the times we try to count people out, like, man, they never gonna get it. But I try to flip the script by manifesting for people and saying they're gonna understand. They're gonna come to the light of, if not what I'm saying, they're gonna get this light from somewhere else, and I reinforce that. You know, because what we say, what we do is powerful. And a lot of times people try to act like you're not influencing them because we don't want to be influenced.
I think people get it misconstrued. They don't know that what we're talking about actually comes through darkness. So the very thing that they think is working against them and coming to us is the very thing that's creating the awakening that we actually that helped us to be enlightened. You know, I want to get to these. We got like, I know for sure 2 more questions. Okay. So they said, what's y'all feelings about money's role in the culture of degraduation within the community? I feel like that is a very powerful question, just because money is in our community, money is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody broke, and the ones that got money, you know, they're so egotistical and look down on their people, and you know, it's so much judgment in our community. So I think that's pretty deep. I would say the role of money has no power.
It's just energy, power.
You know, we actually give it power. So I think that's our first problem in the community, and we don't give it power in the sense of like, so there's nothing more powerful than the black dollar, but in the hood, it's gone. It doesn't stay. So we don't keep our money in our own community. So we value money in the sense that we keep it and we have a high, you know, spending rate, but we don't have, you know, money is made to stun on us. It's not made to uplift us, you know. And so I would say we have to shift the perspective and go back to it. To me, everything is getting back to a tribal mentality. So we have to go back to that tribal mentality of, you know, that I got you, you got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you look at our world nowadays, it used to be a joke to go to somebody's house and get some sugar, knock on the door. You got some flour? You got some? That used to be like a thing. You better not do that nowadays. Somebody's gonna be talking about you. How broke you are, girl. She ain't got no sugar.
Right.
They might not even get to that point. How erratic people get. You come back.
It could be a confrontation,
man. And on top of that, it's like when we think a lot, like specifically our people, and it's kind of just only our people when it comes to like the international community. When we think about money, automatically we think about scarcity and there not being enough of it immediately when thinking about it. Versus the universe and the cosmos is abundant. There's billions of blades of grass, like the water is abundant with animals. Everywhere you look, you can find abundance. So I feel like with this question, what's the role of money in the community? there's a lack of understanding about what
Yes.
money is as
Yeah.
a currency tool. And at the end of the day, this is something I've learned in my life over time, that what comes in fast also goes fast. And what you build slowly with foundation will grow to a greater magnitude. And our people specifically, you know, it's like this, okay, like I can rob somebody and get this money and not deal with any energetical consequences. I can finesse this person and get away with it and be better off and not have no energetical consequences. But when you understand that money, like just like currency, like currents of the sea, money is a form of energy that flows to you or it doesn't.
That's it.
And it flows to you by you respecting the laws of it and the operations of it. But our people don't understand how that operates as an energy source. And it's a matter of, oh, okay, if I can just, you know, take this from somebody, I'm gonna have more. Or if I, you know, do this quick little scheme, you know, I can come up. But we're never thinking.
Money has more value than a life in the Black community. Which is pretty, which is sad. You know what I'm saying? Because money is made out of the exact thing that our ancestors picked, cotton. So you see how this generational thing is just, you know, how the violence and the torture and the trauma and the pain is being.
I don't even mean to cut you off, but you just tapped in on something deep, because people don't even realize the stock market, right? The stock market and the money markets power most of the shit that we see in our everyday environment. They power these corporations. The stocks are a direct representative of the energy being exchanged by employees at their job site. So you go to a place, you exchange your energy for that currency. That energy that you exchanged becomes manifest in that company's numbers and then in the stocks. So we are literally buying and trading the energy of people every single day. Like it hasn't changed since slavery. It's just a whole bunch of systems, names, and corporations that function as the same thing, but it's shifting the energy that you putting into work to this dollar bill that's showing up as these little ticker numbers. And like everybody, when you think about it on a deeper level, everyone is fighting for the energy of the collective that's being put into these things. It's like we putting all of our energy into it, and we constantly are looking like, yo, I got to get it back. And you know, like King knows, like I'm into like the trading and the finance side of things, but inflation is rising like a motherfucker, and it's not seeming to slow down, which means more of your energy every single day is being required for the same amount of money that won't even get you the same amount of goods. So you giving your time and energy for money can't even hedge you against inflation eating you up, because you don't have enough time to exchange for that same amount of currency. You know, so it's like this understanding of currency is what's doing a lot of damage in our community, because it's like you know, nobody's thinking like, okay, if I shift my mental, I can attract this energy to me, because that's energy and I'm energy. It's I gotta go
take.
It's like I gotta take from somebody. I gotta discredit somebody. Even that 48 laws of power, like the 48 laws of power is a little detrimental in my opinion, because there's some game in it.
A lot of things.
There's some game in it for sure, but it makes you super competitive. And if you know, if you get it and I don't, I'm at a disadvantage. But you know, so I'm not going to be too long on that question. But that's heavy.
I want to touch on it real quick, because that's powerful when you look at it in that perspective of energy exchange, and why it's intrinsic for us to work within our community as a collective with our energy exchange. Because when you're having that type of currency exchange with your own people, it just feels good. It feels right. It feels wholesome. Like I've never felt better spending my energy or utilizing my money with a neuromelanated person than somebody of another race, because it just know it's genuine that way. And then it's like the whole situation just be powerful in itself, because it's all genuine. Because y'all both know when you spend your money with a black person, because when this neuromelanated being has a business, they have to be aware of that type of bartering system. You dig what I'm saying? And understanding when they do good to their customers, it comes back to them. So when we have that powerful energy exchange fluctuating through a barter system through our own community, that generates a lot of energy for us in ourselves, which is why Black Wall Street was so powerful. You dig what I'm saying? So when we start implementing that within ourselves, within our own community, instead of you going to the crystal shop that's only around you, that is ran by somebody that is not of your race, I would rather you wait, be patient, and order it online from a trusted neuromelanated person, because now you're building energetic cords and bridges through the heart space, right? Because we know the heart space is the bridge way through the other chakra. You're bridging, you're becoming the bridge and heart space for other people, right? And now you're creating that whole meridian pathway or ley line like a connection throughout everybody in your community, to whereas now. Yeah,
no, I didn't control, but you making, like you just said, pathways for energy, because the currency is just the energy. That's why, you know, and like a river, there's river banks. Banks control the flow of this currency, or you seize the current. So, like you said, you start opening up these gateways for this life energy, which is abundance and which is currency, to flow through you and through your community. So, like I feel like that's heavy, you know.
Facts.
That's super heavy.
I should.
And I also feel like money is learned behavior too. That's something that's learned. That it's like something that's learned, but it's also a place that's uneducated in our race and our culture. So I feel like learning to deal with money, learning to have money, even learning, you know, healthy relationships with money is something that's kind of missing. And I feel like that's why it gets that negative connotation, because we don't know how to actually have a relationship with money. You know what I'm saying?
And
in my opinion, go ahead.
That just comes full circle right back around to that dark matter energy. Because when you said that, the first thing that came to my head is treat money like you would treat a woman or treat a goddess. You dig what I'm saying? You can't hold the money or the goddess too close, because then it's not gonna want to be near you. But you can't let it go too far away, because now it's not going to want to come back. So you got to have that relationship with me the same way you have a relationship with a woman.
That's deep.
That is deep. And it's about balance.
That was fire.
Should we can get into Norhan Stokes' question. How many times should you meditate a day? And what's the best way of astral projection? I'm going to let Kai tap in on that one first.
All right, bet. So when talking about how many times you should meditate a day, if you first start meditation, what I would recommend that you do, because meditation is when you starting out, it's an attention span based thing. I would recommend you meditate for the amount of time of how old you are. So if you're 20 years old, meditate for 20 minutes in increments of 20 minutes. So meditate for 20 minutes, take a 10-minute break or whatever, and then go back and meditate for another 20 minutes to build up that discipline and repetition to where you can go longer within your meditations. Really so based off of you and you building that relationship with yourself and seeing how many times the inner yous need to meditate, because you're not just meditating. All those different versions of you are in that lotus position as well, and which is why you're able to connect to everything. Y'all all sitting here in that lotus position, breathing all in unison all at once, and y'all all talking to each other telepathically, all in harmony and unison. So it's solely based on you and your attention span and what you're able to be aware of and transmute while you're meditating. So when you get longer into your meditations, you really won't have to meditate as frequently as you do throughout the day, because you begin to utilize meditation as a lifestyle instead of a practice. So everything that you do becomes meditation. I don't care if you're driving in the car, you're not even paying attention to the red lights. It's like you just know when to stop. That's because you meditate. You know what I'm saying? That's because you.
And meditation is breathing. Breath work is meditation, and that's why, like what you're saying, you know.
And I was gonna tap in on the astral projection part, because I had a space, you know, in my life where I was very intent on things like astral projection and these, like, you know, quote unquote spiritual powers. But I would start off with saying, do your research on what astral projection is and what it entails. You know, because a lot of people think like you just hop out your body and it'd be, you know, hunky dory, but the reality is that's a whole nother side of reality that comes with certain things. Like you gotta know how to protect yourself before you astral travel. You gotta know different things to do to make sure that you have an enjoyable experience in astral projection. You know, but if you've already done that, you know, when I was attempting astral travel, a big technique for me was the rope method, where you put the body to sleep and you leave the mind awake. And you imagine your phantom limbs, and you imagine that there's a thick rope above where you're laying, and you see your phantom limbs pulling you up this rope. The first time I tried that, I wasn't prepared for what came, because I was very close to coming out of my body, and I wasn't ready for perceptions and what it came with. So I would just say, make sure you know what you're getting into with astral projection, because it's dope and it's definitely something to be utilized. But people don't be talking about what comes with astral projection and what you're going to deal with on the other side. So that's that.
Go ahead. You good?
So I would say, first and foremost, Julio already know me. So when it comes to crystals and astral projection, so my astral projecting that I've done and how things happen, it wasn't intentional, and that's what I want to speak on when it comes to astral projection as well. You may have already astral projected before and don't know. And so I've been holding this crystal the whole episode. Actually, it's the African amethyst. One of my favorite crystals, actually. The amethyst is a very powerful crystal for astral projection. And so if you rest with the amethyst under your pillow, maybe with a clear quartz under your bed, in water, that element, you know what I'm saying? So you got the crystal, the quartz with information in the water, taking in information, actually going to help you connect with them, because astral projection is only if you're aligning with different things, reality, different timelines, different things, but it's all information. You're aligning with different. You're going to come back with information in this reality. It's insight. That's what astral projection is. It's an experience that brings insight.
A good book is I forget the author, but it's Astral Dynamics, and that book they go in depth from you going to sleep, how your etheric and physical and astral body separate, to what you can be prepared to encounter on the other side. So I can't remember the author, but Astral Dynamics, it's almost crazy how deep and dense it is about astral projection, to the point where it's like a whole science topic. Go ahead,
and I also want to touch on astral projection in the sense of, I'm saying, even any extrasensory perceptive ability that you're talking about, as far as when you get on this journey, you got to understand when it comes to when people say your chakras are closed, or this ain't open, or that ain't open. Nah, the whole thing is you have always been utilizing everything, whether it comes to astral projection, whether it comes to rituals, spells, magic, your chakras being open. You've always been utilizing it, but the thing is, it's been like this and not like this. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to you astral projecting or you activating the chakra, or whatever the case may be, you already have it open and you're already utilizing it. But the reason that you're not able to perceive your utilization of it is because your perspective or your perception that you're not utilizing it. You dig what I'm saying? So, for example, astral projection, when you go to sleep, even if you don't remember your astral travel, or what people like to call dreams, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? You're dreaming somewhere. Even with astral projection, you leave your body every night. You're just not constantly aware of it. But you come to a realization of it through your dreams, though, which is why some of your dreams may feel lucid or real. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to dreaming, right? When you get to dreaming, it starts with dreaming, then it starts with vivid dreams. Your dreams get very, very vivid and colorful. Then from there, it's a level where it gets to lucid dreaming. That's when you really feel as though you have control of the dream of what's happening. And then from there, it goes to astral projection, right? So you've already been doing these things, but just in stages, just in beta stages and things like that. So when it comes to astral projection, you have to realize that you've already been doing it. Now you just have to see how you do it in your perception, in your reality. Exactly. Like clairvoyance, for example. Everybody is clairvoyant in their own way. Some people see energy differently than others, right? Like for me, the way I see beings and I see entities is I see it through things. Like if I was to, scribble on the wall real quick and squint my eye, I could see a whole being talking to me, right? Some people might see the actual being in the energy form right in front of them. So it's the same thing with astral projection. You always been doing it. And a very important thing, what Julio was talking about is what you may experience with astral projection. A very important thing with your whole journey is to not let fear govern over your whole journey. Not let it be not you being subjected unto fear, but everything is necessary. Utilizing fear or an aspect of fear, right? So us as neuromelanated beings, when we get put into an uncomfortable situation, some of us fall or some of us triumph, right? So you see that in movies as well, or in superhero shows as well, where you see a superhero, they scared and they know they powerful as hell, but they just scared. So now they the only one alive, and they backed into a corner to where they gonna die.
Those are my least favorite type of heroes. The reluctant hero who like, oh my god, I don't want to. Like I always say that type of hero. It's like, hey, bro, just grip that power, just do what you gotta do. But like
that's the same thing with us, though. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like when we get into those uncomfortable situations, that's why it's intrinsic for us to do the shadow work and to do the inner child healing, to stay grounded. Because once you know that you can wobble and get pushed and knocked around but not fall, that allows you to go so much higher, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the last thing about the astral travel, what Kai said, it's all really about memories. Like he said, most of the time you already doing that, but something that helps is you got to increase your spiritual energy to both take memories to the astral, but even more so to bring them back from the astral. And I've been told,
exactly.
Matter of fact, King, I don't know if you remember, Brother Yosef spoke on that piece that the memories that you are able to intentionally take to the astral is also mimicking how you're going to be able to transfer your memory at the time of death. Unfortunately, like we're led to believe all these things about what happens when you die, but I've heard from a couple good sources, you have to have the ability to resurrect yourself after passing from the body and bring the memories back into your awareness. But it's big on the memories, because a lot of times
and that's facts when you're talking about having enough energy to bring back your astral travels, because that's a question I get a lot. It's how to remember your dreams, how to remember your astral travels. Well, you got to understand, when we was talking about earlier, in the money question and the currency exchange, when you go into these energetic realms, you got to have the bag. You got to have the solar radiation. You got to be charged up, because when you go into that realm, you're utilizing your money to get back the memories, the energy, the information. So you want to go back to a billion years ago, you got to have a billion years ago worth of energy to bring that memory back into the realm.
Well, per Nick Wajet, peace to the goddess, we got to wreck it out, it's going to be coming too, but that's that cosmic currency right there.
That cosmic currency.
Yeah, that's that cosmic currency right there, man.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna go talking about stuff like this all night, But I know that 11/11 is approaching.
Well, we got a little time. I'm thinking. So actually, let's do this real quick. So I'm gonna play the God Energy promo video as well. So y'all go tap in with the God Energy merch and God Energy product and go support. It all goes back obviously into the tribe and into what we're doing. But the apparel is definitely high vibration, and it was definitely made and came from that place. So let's tap in really for the one time.
Affirmations daily, you should join in. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy. Everything inside of me, feel free.
Order your God Energy apparel now at GodEnergyLLC.com. Peace.
God energy. Everything inside of me, feel free to see.
Straight like that. So much gratitude to the tribe, and much gratitude to the tribe that have made orders and and the whatnot. Definitely appreciate it. The support and just the love. Like you said, that's energy, good energy. It always feel good getting that support from the tribe. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we putting that energy back out into the planet. You know what I'm saying? I see Kai got on the hoodie. Go ahead. And
I was gonna ask him. I was like, I need one of those, man.
Yeah,
oh man. This ain't even my hoodie, man. A guy just sent this to me out of gratification, just because the work we out here doing and things like that. And this is a very powerful, dope brand in itself. So he go by Kemetic.clothing on Instagram, and he just got some dope stuff. Like he got this hoodie, they got the Ankh on the top, the key to life. And then right here is a butterfly that says Kemetic Clothing. Then on the back of the hoodie, it says educate the youth. You dig what I'm saying? Ooh. So I just rock with it in itself because of those small, minute details and aspects to where I'm walking around with this hoodie on. Somebody gonna see this and be like, "What's that?" somebody gonna see to educate the youth and be like, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he go by comedic.clothing on Instagram.
Yeah, I just said I want to follow. Yeah, that's dope.
So
yeah,
big energy. And family, if y'all have anything, any of y'all businesses or things like that you want to promote, holler at me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? The DM, I am Key Manifest 777. We all about supporting the tribe. You know what I mean? Especially this high vibration. We want to put it out there. The algorithm is fighting against us. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta become the algorithm and take over the algorithm. You know what I mean? And show our love and support to each other, as well as like I said earlier. Me and the brother, young Kyle, the young guy right here, man, super lit. We got a project coming out, a mixtape coming out on January 1st, 223. The first, we getting the year started out right. So y'all be on the lookout for that, and also get used to Kyle's face because he will be here next week. He's a special guest
for
the next episode as well.
It's gonna be a powerful episode.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for that one.
Make sure y'all, if y'all are gonna tune into that, you can actually King got the link posted up for y'all already, so you can click that notify button. So you can be notified as soon as we go live for that. Y'all can tap in.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna add. I'm gonna go add your name actually to it as a special guest. But it's the I'm gonna drop the title since it's already up. Immortal Combat.
Yeah.
Not mortal, but immortal.
Heavy.
We're gonna tap in. It's gonna be a deep shadow work.
Yes.
Shadow work episode.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Peace, love, light, big healing. I say.
Much gratitude to the guys who came on. Much gratitude to the family tapping in with us.
For real.
Yeah,
hit that subscribe button, that like button. Share the video. We're working on actually, saying those words to normally forget about it. But yeah, everybody here, let's get them likes up. This is how we push these type of episodes and this type of message out to the community. Also, feel free if you want a screen record or post some videos. Feel free. Please. We want to kind of have people chop up videos, a Kanye interview, whatever. Man, chop this mug up and put it out there because we really want this message to touch the world and shift the algorithm so our people can as we stop all this killing and this murder culture. You know what I mean? I say.
Definitely take one of y'all favorite clips of the episode and post it somewhere, man, because the same way it helped you, it can help somebody else that you know. You dig? So definitely tap in on that aspect.
I say. Peace.
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest. My third eye is open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions.